Ask a Painter Live, Saturday morning. We have favorite guest ever, Mauro Henrique from This Old House. Hey, Mauro, I got to get through some introduction stuff here. Bear with me. We're gonna dive into this.
Absolutely.
Introduction to you too. So, all right, everybody, Ask a Painter Live. I am Nick Slavik. I'm the proprietor of the Nick Slavik Painting and Restoration Company. I'm also the host of this show, Ask a Painter Live. It's a weekly live Facebook show where I use my 29 years of experience in the trades and my 14 years of running a business. Actually, this week is my 14th anniversary of owning a painting company. So I know, Mauro, you got a bunch of years on me as far as the paint business goes. So, but no, we basically answer any questions, talk about any topics. And today, you know exactly what you're going to get because we have Mauro on. We're going to talk about This Old House. We're going to talk about running paint businesses and, of course, Brazil. So, if you are interested in anything we talk about today, if you are interested in the openness and the sharing that people like me and Mauro do, the Painting Contractors Association in the United States might be for you. There's a link in the bio there. We are having our monstrous expo, our exposition in March. It'll likely be 800 to 1,000 people there. All the people you know and love, the Sherwin, the Benjamin Moore, the Bear, the PPG, the Graco, the Titan, everybody's going to be there. And it's always a good time. Also, 3 days of member-driven content. So guys like us show up and we bring data and feelings from our business and share it with other people so that we do better. So that'll be fun. So we're not going to waste any more time. Mauro, listen, we know you from the painter of This Old House, but what else do we need to know about Mauro?
Well, as you guys know, my name is Mauro Henrique. I own Mars Painting. I've been in business as long as you were, Nick. Exactly same time. And I also the painter for the This Old House and Ask This Old House TV show. We've been with those guys for almost 14 years. And then it's a great experience. And I run my business like everybody else does there. And that's what we do. That's what I love to do.
Business is based in Boston, Mauro?
Business is based in Boston, Somerville, Boston, Massachusetts. I've been here for 32 years. And this is hometown.
So born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, yes.
Yeah, I was born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and then I came to we call America, North America, because we're from South America. I came here in 1987.
Wow.
I was going to get here and learn some English and go back to the old country, but I taste the water here, tastes good. I said, this is what I'm going to stay, you know. But I still going back off and on, my wife and I and the kids. But I mean, I solidate myself in Boston, which is like to me, is like very close from my hometown, Sao Paulo. Just like the look of the town, and it's just like my hometown, my old hometown. So
So it feels to me that if and when a Brazilian comes to the United States, they go to the Boston area. Why do they go to the Boston area?
Well, it's funny now. Like over the years, things changes a lot. People used to come, especially if you're from South America or Central America, they would go to Miami, Florida, because a large Spanish-speaking community down there. It would be easy for anybody from South America to get around and get a job, and they wouldn't have any hard time with the language. But since then, when I came to Boston, there was like half a dozen Brazilian guys here. There was like most of Portuguese from Portugal, but not a lot, And then one guy bring a friend, and they bring their families, and then that community starting to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And then all of a sudden, the language is not a barrier anymore, because there's so many businesses Portuguese speaking and Brazilian speaking. And then people feel comfortable coming to this area. So does in Florida. Is most of the problem with any immigrant is like the language. Is that blocking the language, that barrier that you can communicate, you can get a job, you can buy a car, you can do anything. But right now, that's the reason you'll see a lot of people coming to the Northeast. Northeast is like a big, huge Brazilian community around here.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I think when I went up there for the Northeast tour of master's classes, I mean, we had one master's class where I think 30% of the entire class was Portuguese, Brazilian, things like that. And it's like, yeah, there's a definite hotspot. And like you said, once you get a critical mass of a community there,
Yep.
it makes it a natural thing when you have native speakers and things like that. So
It's like it's very easy to, when you come to Boston, you're going to find, or Massachusetts in general, you will find a lot of Brazilian stores. You'll find a little Brazilian mini markets, what they call. You'll find restaurants all over the place. And then, it's like very easy for people, to get what they need from the old country, because they can find almost everything around here now. There's no more hard time. Even the famous churrasco with this Brazilian meat store. There's a meat place that you can go. I know you love it. I know you've been there. You almost eat like breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. Churrasco all the time.
We're going to get deep into Brazil later on. Boy, I have thoughts. I have lots of questions about that stuff too, but we need to. So for me, watching This Old House since a kid, it's like I was that nerd who would watch New Yankee Workshop, Woodwright. I would watch This Old House from a young kid. I would restore antique furniture in my garage I was such a nerd. I told you this the last time I talked to you, but I would legitimately like pump my fist, yell at everybody to be quiet when a painter on This Old House was on, because we all love the carpentry. We all love the plumbing and the electrical, and we love Roger outside. But when you actually saw a painter on, it'd be like 3 minutes, an entire season. You get to see the painter in his segment. And I was just like, I just taking it in. I was looking at everything, and it was so cool, man. So again, watching you do that, it's like, you are largely representing every painter in the United States, and you do an insanely good job on This Old House of that.
I'm proud of this, and I started with my first appearance was the old segment of the New Yankee Workshop with Norm Abram. I was approached by this guy. I have no idea what the guy was. I just got a phone call, say, listen, you painted my daughter's house, and you did such a great job with the cabinets. I got a job for you. That's when I started with what was the last episode? And I worked with Norm Abram for 3 months.
Wow.
Had like absolutely 10,000 questions to ask him. I was like, should I ask? Should I not ask him? I was like, but he was so nice and so quiet guy, very, very meticulous. When you look at it, I said, how the heck this guy knows everything, no set of plans, no nothing. He's all from the scratch. And then, we become good friends, and I started to feel more comfortable work and talk with them. And then we did a great job with the cabinets too. But I wasn't too great with cameras and talking. It was like a funny thing, because Ross Marash was the founder of This Old House and all these different TV shows. He said to me, you don't have to talk, you don't have to do anything. All you got to show up, do what you do, and be good. Don't worry about it. In the middle of everything, he said, hey, get a mic on that guy. I need to hear his voice. I say, who? What am I going to do? Just say what you're doing. I said a bunch of stuff that came out of my mouth, and then at the end it was good. And then he said you're going to get a call from Tom Silva, with general contract from This Old House, and he'll see your work, and he want to give you a try. All right, so then Tom called me. I went to see a couple projects. I didn't get the first one, but the second project I was in with the guys, and then of course when you're there, you just like, should I do this? Should I do that? How will I say? How do I do? And then Tom approached me one day. He said, "Hey, don't worry about. Just do what you do every day.
Yes.
Do it for a long time. Don't create anything. Don't invent anything. Just do what you do. Your normal thing." And that was easy. And I said, all right. So, I was being myself there as a painter. I said, this is what I do. And this is how I'm going to, show you guys how I do it. And that was really good. And then as the days goes by, and I started to get more and more comfortable and talk to them, they got, more more of me. They're starting to know me better, and of course, along the years, the projects that we've done, you learn a lot from them.
Mhm.
It's like I was painting, and I was like constantly next to Tom, and that's another genius of the carpentry of the business, and he constantly come to me and say, "Listen, how do let me show you how to do this. This is how I do it, and this is
Mhm.
what I want you to do." So, all right, I have a lot of support from them because
That's awesome.
it's a total different universe when you get
So please, Mauro, please tell me that they are
it.
as cool and as genuine and as good as they seem on camera.
I got that questions almost every day. Yes.
And you know what? Honestly, if they're not, if they're super divas and they're rude, don't even tell me, because you know what? Ever since I was a kid, like, I can't believe it, but it's like they just seem like the most genuine people on the planet.
Nick, they are super normal people. The only difference is like, um, to me, they're a bunch of ingenious guys. They've been doing this from day one. Tom Silva, where I do a lot of the work. Um, he's been doing this since he was like 8 years old. He learns from his father, and they teach you, they show you, they don't hide anything. And they said, ask me any question you want. And during the day, we laugh, we make jokes, we talk about this, we talk about just about everything. They are not super divas. They are really tradesmen. They've been doing this for their whole life, and they are not afraid or shy of share anything they know with you or on TV, or whatever they see there. That's the way they were in the real life.
Oh, I
They're
love it, man.
they're
God,
just fun. Every single one of them, like everybody from Ask This Old House or This Old House, and all this new stuff that's coming up with the show. They are all very normal people. Kevin O'Connor is the host, the producers, the cameramans. At sometimes we all get together, we have beer together, we talk, we have a little food, we go out, and then we talk, good stuff, and we all like a bunch of people that. Looks like you know them forever.
yeah, that's awesome,
It's,
man.
yeah,
That
it's
makes
a
me
great stuff.
feel that. Yeah, the last thing I ever wanted to hear was that, oh no, somebody's not like they are on camera, because it's like that to be like, as people who have been around the trades a long time.
Yeah, yeah,
When somebody is that good, like Norm and Tom and all that, it's like
yeah.
that comes from decades and decades of that, and being humbled by physics and by carpentry and by business and everything else, and that creates a certain personality that's warm and inviting, and you can only want to then mentor the next group of people. It's the people who haven't had those lessons. They're the ones that are insulated off and cold and kind of, we all know those old tradespeople who are just kind of like grumpy old people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
An inviting thing. That is not that. And I'm so glad to hear that.
But I think, when we're working out together, they constantly ask you, "Hey, how do you paint this? How can I help? Can I do something? Let's do something there." Let's say one thing. When we're doing spraying, we do a lot of spraying. If we do something at the segment at this old house, or if we're doing this old house, if I'm there spraying, or all my guys are there spraying, first one that wants to come and spray with us is Tom. Tom Silva loves spraying. I say, hey, buddy, can I give it a try? Go ahead, help yourself. I'm not gonna say no to you. Go ahead.
That's awesome.
And all of the guys, they said, hey, geez, that looks good. It's like a good supporting family of business tradesmen. They respect you, and they observe you all the times. And if they don't say, hey, this is not how we expect to get things done, they always say it looks good, because they trust everybody. Trusts everybody. Everybody likes the way things, the manners that they treat the people out there.
My impression has always been that, I mean, I think 43 seasons, give or take, like it's been around forever.
45.
And 45. So my feeling is that it has so much gravitas, and it has so much trust, And it's been so good, and it's never become a joke of itself, because my feeling is that not only are you guys all good, but you also run businesses. And that really makes you approach this whole thing differently. This old house is not most of your main gigs. Like, you also have to go and support a family by running a business. And that takes a lot of just honesty, trust, and all this other stuff. And you can't fake a lot of that.
It's like I always say, my logo is like a painting project. If it doesn't look good, if it's not right, you will see right away, right? You're not going to wait like a month or two to find out that the paint job is not a good thing. That's not right to do it, because you will notice right away. The paint shows up in the results that if it's not good, anybody that hired you to get the job done, even if they don't know anything about, but they will see it, you know. And then by being in like 3 different places, like Astor's old house, this old house, and then running my business like crazy. But it's just that craziness that I love. I love it. I just love about everything.
Oh, it's awesome, man.
You run jobs. I'm I'm running like 5 big jobs right now, and also I have to attend to this old house and Astor's old house segments. But it's what I'm not talking anything different when I got there. I just finished something here on one of my jobs, and I'll be talking about the same thing that I'm going to my segment or my something with them. It's just like, and when we get there, just use painter's words. Okay, use whatever. Say what you are doing. Say how you do, and there's like many different ways to do things, but this is the way I like to do. And that's what people like to hear and like to listen, learn from you, like you do your thing.
I wish. So now, like, obviously this old house, the big projects every year are kind of the flagship thing, but
yeah,
my God, I wish that all of your Ask This Old House segments and all your content for the website was available when I was younger too, because I never saw another painter do their work. Like, honest to God, if somebody's like, I've painted bedrooms live as an instructional thing for people, but I've never done it as well as your 13 steps to paint a bedroom. It's just like simple, beautiful, concise. Now, we all know that there's a million ways to skin a cat, right? But it's like, if you just do that was a beautiful little thing. And what a resource that's just free for the entire world,
I agree. I mean, before when you and I would start, paint, we didn't have YouTube.
No.
We didn't have internet. We didn't have any TV. I mean, this old house was there, but there's not a tradesman like us. No. Painting, when I started learning about painting, was a big secret. Nobody wants to give it away.
Yeah.
Nobody said, "Oh, you're gonna learn by doing it." But I mean, I said, "But what is the best paint brush that I can buy? Where's the best paint that I can use? Do I need to use primer before? What sandpaper should I get in bit?" None of those questions I couldn't get any answer for that, But then we start, you and me, we start showing people the right way to do it, the correct way to do it, with no gimmicks, no, tricks, no nothing. This is the best way to do it. This is a good sequence to do, and people appreciate that, But like I said before, you and I, or a bunch of other professionals there, we learned by doing it, by our own mistakes. You're correct, by our own mistakes, But like I said at the beginning, the paint don't look good. You will see it right away, and that's why
mystery.
That's right. That's why we learned. It's like a bunch of professionals there that I do a lot of, all the respect for the trades. But before, right now is like what we're doing is like telling people. So you're gonna save a lot of time and money, things that we didn't have the chance when we started. There's no such a thing as somebody come and say, "Dude, buy this paintbrush. This is the good brush for you. You do your cuttings. This is the best paint sprayer, the best roller. This is the technique you're gonna do it." Everybody was hide something from everyone all the time. Don't. Sometimes I approach other guys and I try to sneak in and trying to look at it and say, "Hey, get out of here."
No, along the lines of those lessons, like, if you pick an improper system, process, tool, or coating for the outside of a house, and it fails really quickly, and you have to paint the entire outside of a house again, that's a lesson that doesn't escape you very much. Like, that you feel that lesson and you never want to repeat it again. I think that's why that we used to think that all these things were secrets, because with this knowledge, it felt like we've paid with blood, sweat, and money to get these things. But really, we all thought we were snowflakes. We're unique. Well, I'm the only one who's experienced this, and I'm the only one who knows this. And it's like, it's ridiculous when you think about it, that we all buy the same painter's pants. We all buy the same paint. We all buy the same sprayers. There's no secrets out there. It's just like applying some thought to it,
Yeah, I mean, you're going to pick up a line here and there. You're going to learn. But if you don't make that mistake, okay, you're never going to learn.
No,
you never, especially if you get into something new. You're gonna do like about 2 or 3 times, and then you say, "Well, I mean, I saw Nick doing this, but he did that way. I will try it this way. I'll see it that way." It works. It works, And I see other painters. I follow up with another painters, and like every day there's something new that's make more. It makes a lot of more progress doing that way.
Yeah.
I see how you work. I see how you do it. I say, whoa, this is a good way to do it.
No, it's an amazing resource now. Like you said, the guys at This Old House, you are super open. That to me is the mark of a true master craftsperson. Somebody that says, you know what, I'll give you everything I have, every bit of knowledge, knowing that you're still going to have to put the reps in, because some things can only be learned through that. And that's not a secret. I think that's everything, being a writer, being an athlete, being everything else, which is we can give you a diet plan. We can give you an exercise thing. Do you have enough grit to be consistent and do this over and over and learn those lessons?
That is right. That is right. I agree 100%. It's like, since TV was open with the painters, which we never had any. I never saw any other painter on TV showing you, hey, this is how you do. Hey guys, let's talk about this. Let's give it away. Let's put it like people that not even need to be a professional painter, but homeowners that wants to get something done. This is what This Old House do. We go into the houses on the house calls, and we treat them. From beginning to the end of every single little process, how to do it and how to do it the most effective way. That's not going to break your bank, and it is not going to take you that 2 weeks to paint a room. And the best painting brush, the best roller, the best painting tray, how you clean up your brush after all, how you can save your brush for the next painting project. Those are the bunch of stuff that people do more painting than ever before. Not only painters, but like everybody loves to paint, and they doing those principal stuff that they show. You show it all the time, and we show it all the time at this. They really like that. Like I said, there's no more secrets.
Well, and listen, again, thanks. I know I've thanked you already, but seriously, thank you for all those Ask This Old House segments. Like there's so many resources out there that are free, professionally done, and by trusted. I mean, you are not a guy that they called the Screen Actors Guild and got a stand-in guy to do this. You are decades of experience, a true professional, showing the exact way to do it with a professional camera crew and all that other stuff. This isn't a quick run and gun TikTok, YouTube sort of thing. Like, this is finely crafted. And I mean, I've dabbled in a little bit of this, making videos for 3M. To get a 10-second video, that's an all-day shoot with 20 people. Know how much goes into a little segment of that.
Yeah. It's like when we do filming anything with the Ask on This Old House, it's like a minute showing on TV. It's like an hour. It's like takes about 1 hour to prep everything. Yeah, and then you see when you look at it, the behind cameras, there's about 10, 15 people there looking at you.
Yeah,
it's like, and then it's like it takes a long time to get those setups and explain how to do it, and don't do this, don't do that. Sometimes it's like 4, 5, 6 times doing the same thing. I mean, but I mean, it's all like a bunch of professionals. They are looking out for you. And they wanted to take the best of you there, and then we want to make sure the most important is the audience, the people that's watching it, picked up the message and see all the little details on every little scene, that they will take it the paint job easily, and they can get done just by watching it. They can see how we do things.
Do you have a favorite project you've worked on with them over the years? It could be a This Old House, or it could be a flagship project. It could be an Ask This Old House segment. What's your favorite thing you've done with them?
I could say I not only got one. I'll start with This Old House. One of my favorite projects is the first one that I done with them. Yeah, that was like 2010, 2010. That was one, which by being my first one with them, it was like a kind of nerve wracks when we got there. It's like, oh my god, it's kind of a really kind of a. I laugh now, but then it's like, geez, it's starting to get all those people that you watch it all the time, and they come just by you, shake your hand, hey Mauro, how you doing? Hey, welcome aboard, and but it was one of my first one because I had a chance to met everybody at once in one project in one
That's
day.
awesome.
And then my second one was like This Old House again. It was like 2012, I think, was like the Cambridge project, which was really, really cool, kind of a fun project to work on. Which I helped me and the designers and then the color consultant. We all get those meetings like 3 times a day. We try in colors and we come up with a beautiful colors for the whole house. It was like that was like one really, really cool one. Like I said, I don't have one project that I like, for different reasons. I like this one, and then I like the other one for some other stuff. And then for Ask This Old House, that was like 2009 when I did my first house call. Was a repainting a metal bulkhead door with the homeowner. So that was like my very, very first one. That I consider it. It's all like you always take to me. I always take where was the first one, very first project that I done with them, and that kept, that goes into your memory. Like, this is how I got here, and that was like a kind of a special one for me. And then there's a lot of a couple other ones that I do, but I mean that one is the very, very, very first that I can't forget.
Well, I love it, man. Thank you for sharing that.
Anytime, absolutely.
How is running a business right now? I feel like, over the last 18 to 24 months, it's been, global pandemic, that's number one. And then in our world, paint shortages, right? Like we're running into that stuff too. Now there's surcharges, and now the labor force seems weird, and there's unemployment for people who had jobs. I mean, like, so right now, how is it? How is business, Mauro?
Well, business, what I have seen for last year and this year, never been so confusing like right now. All right. It's like things doesn't run. Every day is different. So, like before all this pandemic and stuff, you could plan everything for the next 2, 3, 4 months, 6 months ahead of you. Right now it's like there's tons of work to do, a lot of work to do. But I mean, that's not happening with with us. People are shortage of worksmen. Or either they come short with the materials that's starting to pick up on the painting business. But it is good, and it's not good because you don't know what's going on in the next couple of months. And right?
Mauro, listen, this is how I know you're a genuine guy, because honestly, when people ask me that question, I say confusing as well. Because it's like you're looking at all these market indicators. The stock price of all the major paint companies have doubled in the last 18 months. Demand has never been higher. Unemployment is super low. There's not an easy way to find a ready supply of labor. Exactly. It feels like there's just free money floating around everywhere.
Yes, I agree.
And it feels like you hear about the great resignation where 66% of all people are going to find another job. Housing prices are super high. And you're just like, I don't even know what to do with all this stuff. Like, it's just normally all the things that we look to, like, okay, if interest rates go high, unemployment goes up, so that it makes it easier for us to find people, but then it's harder to find leads for our business. But it feels like right now we're just getting a whole bunch of like weird indicators. And like you, it's like, listen, thank God that there's demand for what we do. And as soon as that keeps going, I am going to grit through, we're going to press through, and we're going to do all the basic things right. And we'll just, a couple months, 2 to 4 months from now, who knows, man?
Who knows? It's like we have this fluctuation, it's like it's nothing steady. It's like, for our business, I look at it, I get, a bunch of works lined up. But I mean, let's put it this way. I was doing a project in Concord, Massachusetts. These people chose a color, some colors, very dark colors. And for the paint line that I like to work, I go to my guy at the paint store and say, dude, listen, I got this, and that. He said, I can get you this, but I cannot get you the darker color because I don't have the base to make that color. And I don't know when we're going to have it. That's what you don't want to hear. And then that puts in a situation that, well, what are we saying? We're going to limit the colors now because we don't have the base or we don't have the production line going, at the paint manufacturers. And then when you ask them if you're going to have, give me a ballpark. It's going to be a week. It's going to be 2 weeks. We don't know. It could be a day. It could be a couple of weeks, but we don't know. That puts you in a position to say, what do I do?
I think it's a really good lesson in we take a lot of stuff for granted, right? Yes. Like the two biggest things that most paint business owners struggle with are finding jobs and finding labor
all the time.
And those things are usually they're usually opposed to each other. Usually when jobs are easy to find, labor's hard. Labor's easy, jobs are hard. And we always deal with that. We know we're going to deal with that. But Mauro, did you ever think in your many decades that you could not buy paint if you had money? No, of course.
Absolutely. No, I cannot believe that I seen those days happening right now in front of me. Even sometimes I go to the paint store and I see shelves where it's supposed to be a lot of paint there, completely empty. The other day, I was looking for a Durabond 45.
Yep.
I went to the paint store. My guy said, "Oh, I don't have any." I was like, "What's going?" And then I grab a painting can, right? I grab a painting can, and the lid, the cover was made of plastic. I said, "What's going on? What's those metal painting cans?" Cover. What's the lead? Is it? Oh, the manufacturer ran out of metals to make to make the top. I said, well, what are we going to end up with this? It's like, and this little thing here, little thing that, and then it's time to hear some stories, and then it's like kind of say, this makes no sense. It's making no sense for us right now because, like you said, we are painters. We are looking for jobs every day.
Yeah.
We got to keep up the crews running. We got to keep up with the schedule. We got to keep that money coming in because we got a lot of bills to pay. And we're looking for jobs. Well, our jobs doesn't last 5, 3, 4 months. It's like a week and a half, most of them 2 weeks. Yeah. And then after that, you got to have that lined up jobs ready to go because other than that, we fall into something else. So we don't keep your guys busy. They will be looking for something else to do, because they want to be working all the time. So our positioning, and more likely this time is really hard.
Yeah. And it's interesting. Yeah. We're certainly having to deal with a lot of things that we kind of took for granted. The one shining light through this all is that honestly, thank God demand is high. Like it's like the jobs are there right now. So what you never hear painting contractors complain about, unless they're legitimately in their first year of business, is I can't find any jobs. Like right now, for guys like you and me, it's almost a problem. Like we can't meet demand, like when somebody calls up and says, hey, we're 1 to 4 weeks out for an estimate because we have so many lined up, they get angry at you. And they say, that's BS. I'm moving into my house in 3 weeks. I need the whole thing painted. It's I want to help you. I want to help you. I legitimately want to, but there's 71 people that have estimates on the schedule before you. It's like,
I know it's like incredible right now. And most of the time, what I've been learning lately, that some people even said, "Hey, I don't even want an estimate. I know that you work here, you work for my friend, you work there. Can you start it as we go, and then we start talking money? But I need to get it done. I need
yeah,
to get it done." And then most of the time, I say, "Hey, like I said, I buy in a house and I move in 2 weeks, and the whole thing needs to get painted." But the problem is, you get things going already, and then you try to accommodate that because you do not want to lose that business. But
no.
that business will lead you to another business.
For guys like you and me,
Yeah.
a missed opportunity or not getting a client happy, honestly, is like
Yeah.
the worst thing you could do to us, and almost to a fault. We've probably sacrificed our family's time and other people's time in order to please these people. But it's another thing that makes us successful too, which is that drive to
Exactly.
accommodate and make people happy. So
Exactly. Because once you get a referral, when you get to the point, when you get to meet the people, they already know everything about you.
yeah,
They
it's
already
true.
they already know everything. They have all your informations, and a lot of people said, if I'm calling you, I heard about you. I heard some friends use you for some projects, and we really want you. Okay. I said, but I mean, how can you say no to this?
I know it's the worst thing, and we really stress ourselves out, and that's what drives us to. That's what drove probably you and definitely me years ago, because it's like, as a single person painter, you can only help so many people a year, and
Yeah.
when as we age, we're not going to become that much more productive. So all of a sudden you're seeing, like, I'm capping this out and people are turning away elsewhere. So then we start growing our workforce, and then the demand still never goes away. Like, I have the same lead time right now with all of our people as I did when I was a single person painter. And
Yeah.
that's, it's an amazing, it's an amazing time to be a contractor, which is good. Now it comes with, the good and the bad, but I feel like, as we navigate the last 24 months or so, I've noticed a change in the clients. It feels like they don't plan as far ahead, and they're very interested in getting you in and out of the house. So scheduling is an issue. Are you seeing any patterns that have changed within your clients in the last 24 months?
I do see a lot of it. Many different reasons that I never expect to see it at this time. When this whole thing started, the pandemic, I said, "Whoa, we're not going to have anything to do because
Yeah.
people don't want us inside the house. People are afraid to have like 5, 10 guys outside of the house." It's like it's gonna be a little crazy, but everything went on the reverse, on the other way around. So and then all of a sudden we starting to go inside of the houses again, and like I said, people don't want you to tell them, "Listen, this job is going to take about 3 weeks." He said, "No, no, 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 no. That job needs to get done in about a week and a half, the max 2 weeks, right?" And then you have to scramble yourself, to bringing people inside because you already got things going out there. There's a difference. People, uh, clients lately, they don't want to wait for yours. They don't want to hear about your schedule. My
Yeah.
schedule is like 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month. I can get here. No, they don't want that because they say, "All right, we want you here next week, and we want out of here a week after that."
Yep.
This is what I've been dealing a lot. So I have to be moving guys and girls all the time because I gotta go what the demand is right now. Other than that, it's a good. You don't want to lose that project. It's a good project. Like you said, they're gonna introduce you to friends or whatever. But you just don't want to let go because like you said, we don't know what's going on next month.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on the 2 months after this. It's kind of
Yeah.
a it's like
I don't know. Oh, sorry, Mauro. It always feels like every day I wake up and I have this horrible feeling. And I thought maybe it was just because I'm a Minnesotan, but it's like this. I feel like if I don't do something today, this is all going to end in 6 months. And I think that's that perpetual feeling where it's like, we got to make sure that job's lined up. Winter's coming.
yes,
We got a workforce. All these families depend on us. All these
yeah,
clients want us. And it's that drive. I constantly feel like this will dry up and blow away. if you're not intentional with it.
I do the same way, but I got this to myself. You know what this is? Um, that shows that we are a bunch of professionals, and you learned when the times are tough, when you don't get much to do.
Yep.
And then that goes into you. You say, listen, I've been there. It doesn't, it's going to affect the business a little bit. I'm going to have to reschedule things here and there, but you have to go for it.
Yep.
You have to go for it because, like I said, right now it's everything, it's ups and down. And every time you turn on the TV, there's something new and there's something that you don't. I say, all right, well, all we got to do, we got to do it. You got to take it. You got to take it. You know what I mean? I honestly, Nick, I can't say no when, because especially during the winter here, winter, it's like, man, winter, you gotta get everything you can, in order for you to keep up that flow of money coming in, and then you gotta keep up your guys busy all the time, and then it's like you're thinking ahead all the time. Like painters, is like, I got to find another job for next month. I got to find another job for next week. I got to keep this crew going. I got to move those people around. And that it's not. Sometimes you get like, say, "Oh, Jesus, what am I going to do?" But the thing is, you never learn to say no. I don't want to do this job. I don't want to get there. I don't have the time. I don't have the manpower. I don't have the. I gotta take my Saturday and Sundays off. That thing for me doesn't exist for the last 30 years.
That's what it feels like, right? And because we have been through, I started my business during the last Great Recession and the housing crisis. Now we've been through a global pandemic. Those lessons that cost us blood, sweat, tears, and money, those don't leave you. And we're always cautious of resting on our laurels, right? Like I think I'm always fearful of getting comfortable. Right. And you take something for granted, like being able to buy, and all of a sudden you're dealing with it. And it's just like, never be comfortable. Always be on the lookout for problem solve, right?
No, that's right. That is at the right words. That it's never comfortable. When you think you're comfortable, I don't feel comfortable thinking about that I'm comfortable.
I know,
right? Because then you want to take some time off. You said, "Oh, I got everything lined up. I'm all set. I'm ready to go. I'm going to take." My brain, with my business working all the time, 7 days a week. It doesn't matter what other people say. You got to take a break, man. I said, I got things. I learned that on my own. When you have your business, you're gonna take a break. Yes, when you stop working, when you said I'm retired. Even though you're still working, but I mean, you're gonna slow down. But during this time, your brain will say to you, "Don't you gotta go, man. You gotta go. You gotta go. Don't And you got so many things to do that if you don't do it that day that you want to do it that time, that thing is gonna pile it up. And it's gonna accumulate. You're gonna. It's confused. It's all confused, especially being a business owner. And at this time of the year, the time of the war that's going crazy with all this happening, but every day we got to adjust ourselves. Every single day, not every day is the same. It's like sometimes I woke up in the morning, I said, "Whoa, I don't know if I'm going to have time to get this done today," but you do have to.
You do, yeah.
You do, because winter's knocking the door right there. Winter's coming, and I got like a few projects from the next year to get complete. Like, get another 3-4 jobs that I got to get it done, and then like it's really like a very complex with everything we do, because you don't want to. You got to get it done. You got to get it done with that high grade quality that you do your projects, and but it's like we got to fight every day. Fight every day. Painter's life is not easy. I tell everybody it's not an easy thing to do. We depend on everything. We depend on the weather. If it rains, we can't work. If it's snowing, we can't work. If it's too cold, we cannot work. On the exterior project.
So I used to always, I mean, just like every entrepreneur and every tradesperson, you always think the grass is greener somewhere else, right? You always think, man, especially when, you're finishing up that last exterior of the year and you see some snowflakes in the air and your hands are cold and you're up on an extension ladder and all this other stuff. And you think, man, I should have just had like a marketing job and sit in some office. But then you get together with some of your peers and friends and you meet that guy who's a mid-level executive doing marketing. He hates his life. He hates it. He just the same thing we complain about. He's like, man, I would kill to be outside 2 days a year to do any of this stuff.
Yes.
I do the same. Everybody's got the same complaints everywhere about everything. And I think for guys like you and me, we actually found something that's deeply satisfying. Yes. It's this itch that you could never fully scratch. It's like, I woke up this morning thinking about this old house, thinking about your projects there. And it's like, I would paint today if I got a chance. Like I would legitimately, if we didn't have family, if I didn't have all this other stuff to do, I would love to just put in 8.5 hours restoring something old. Like that's an itch, man. We can't scratch. I love it.
You can. It's in the blood. What I told the guys, it's in the blood. I mean, when I came to America, North America, I like to be, my dream used to be like a carpenter.
Yep.
I don't know. My father was like a handyman, and he used to do everything. And then he loved tools from the United States. He said every good tool comes from North America, and you couldn't touch any of his tools. He won't let anybody touch it. But he loves to do like repairs and stuff like that. And I'm watching that. I said, well, man, this is a good thing to do. And when I came to America, I said, I'm going to be like a carpenter. But 2 weeks after that, and I said, that's not my thing. And then like I tell about my story, so I work with my boss, and my boss said, no, the painter didn't show up, and I got 2 days to deliver this house. He was flipping houses. And I said, excuse me, he said, can you paint it? I said, oh, give me that brush. What's hard to do? Nothing, right? He said to me, I'll give you 2 days. It took me 5 days to paint 3 walls and 3 windows.
Wow.
Everything back then was oil-based painting. But then I come home and I said to my wife, I said, you know what? I love what I done today. And next day or the day after, I said, I still liking what I'm doing. She said, well, I mean, if you like it, you do what you got to do. And then I said, you know what? Forget about it. I don't want to be the carpenter anymore. And that's when I started to fall in love with the paint. And I love it. I love what I do. I love because we do transformations at no matter of time. It's fast satisfaction right away. And then that's what I started the business. And then what I still love and to do, I never regret anything that's being a professional painter and work with different colors, different people, different places all the time. But it's like, you gotta be professional, be true with the people, with the customers and everything happens,
So we need to talk about Brazil because I get very self-conscious about a lot of things about Brazil because you are Brazilian, you were born in Sao Paulo, and I'm sort of like, I've been to Brazil twice now, and now people come to me and they're asking me a lot of questions, and I feel like they're asking me to represent like America and Brazil in this stuff. And I'm like, listen, you guys have no idea. There's guys like Mauro. There's guys like Rodrigo Vasconcelos from Palette Pro Painting in New York. There are hundreds of Brazilian painters in the United States who are running big businesses, doing great things. But because I'm a loudmouth on social media, people kind of want me to speak for it. And I don't feel comfortable doing that. Like I'm just this person who goes, and I had some weird opportunities to meet people there. And I fell in love, like it's a second home. And we were talking before this thing about the differences in the cultures and the landscape and the trades and all this and that. In 2018, I made my first trip, and it was basically just, I'm going there with eyes wide open. I'm going to be very honest with you. You've probably run into this a lot. Yeah. I thought it was Spanish speaking 5 years ago down in Brazil. Everybody does. You guys speak Spanish. Everybody thinks you guys are Spanish speaking. Yeah. And even me getting prepped for that, I was like, well, listen, I got a relatively good, Spanish speaking. I can say 4 sentences. They're like, Nick, you don't understand. That's not even the language you're going into down there. So for me, the first trip was eyes wide open, people, places, things. I just want to experience it all. The second time that I just got back from, I really went deep into the business, the trades, cultural differences. And when I went down there, I was trying to find out the things that make us different. And really what I came away with was the things that make us the same. I got to visit, I think, 6 states when I was there, and I met probably 500 different painters, and we had these great sessions where we got them all together. And instead of saying, hey, what food do you eat? What language do you speak? What kind of brushes do you use? Now it's like, what are your daily concerns? What do you think about? What's the friction points? The coolest thing that I came away with, Mauro, was they have all the same complaints that United States painters do. It's all the same thing. It's like, where's all the good people? We train them and they leave. The material shortages and things like that. And I came away, I don't know what I wanted. I think I wanted some miraculous thing. Like they do these things differently and they get a crazy different thing. And then we're going to change the United States industry. But I really got humbled because on the plane ride home, long plane ride home, I was like, of course they would have the same problems. We're all human beings and we're all doing this thing. We are going to experience the same amount of problems. So for me, it was almost this comfort of like, oh, so we're still not unique. Even North America to South America, we still have the same problems. Nobody's getting by easy, Mauro.
No, not really. But I mean, once you get there, you can see a lack of opportunity for them. Mm-hmm. Everywhere you go, a lack of a good money making, a good respect for the profession, and then materials or tools. I'll just tell you a little bit of it's a long story, but I'll make it really short.
Yeah.
When I used to go to Brazil every year with my wife and the kids and stuff. Now it's taking me a little longer because I'm no longer can be away too far from the business and everything. Mm-hmm. The first thing I learned, I asked, because every time I go there, I was going to talk with painters, of course. And I talk with the guys. I say, guys, what's the huge demand here down in Brazil? You know what they tell me? A good painting brush and a good paint sprayer. That's what they told me. The paint brushes that first thing when I got there, I used to go to the paint store and see what they had there. And then I never could find a affordable, good paint brush or a good paint sprayer so the guys could produce and make some money. That was like one of the biggest things that I saw there because there's plenty of work.
Yes.
But there's no source. It's not really accessible because it's really expensive, and you can't find everywhere like we do here.
It's really interesting because, like the first time I went down, people are like, Nick, you don't understand. We can't get Purdy. We can't get Wooster. We can't get any of this stuff. I'm like, oh, come on. Everybody complains about that. We got a guy down in Alabama who says, oh, you can't get this. You can't get that. But when you go down there, you realize, like, legitimately, when you look at the display of brushes, they are chip brushes. Exactly. There is no beautiful nylon bristled brush. It is brushes that you and I would put paint samples on for that designer and then throw them away. And that's what they're using every single day. And it's like, oh my God, you weren't lying. You legitimately can't get professional tools like that, or you don't have access to them here.
You don't have that. You don't have like over here. If you go to a paint store, there's one in every corner. Every corner you can find a paint store, you find a home center. You go there. When you go to the painting aisle, it's like huge. There's not only one manufacturer. There's like 10, 15, all different sizes, different manufacturers with the different materials. And this brush is good for this. It's good. When I sat to the guys there, when I buy my stuff, it's confusing for us, for me, because you got so many to choose from.
Yeah.
That, you obviously you're gonna have your preference one. You're gonna like this kind of brush here, but it's huge, guys. It's huge. I said, and this one of the huge problem because when I went there, I brought like one time I filled like one bag of paint and rollers, right? Different sizes, different thickness, paint and brushes, and then roller extended the pole, like the pole.
Yep. Yep.
When I got there, it was a fight.
Yes.
Because I get like into some guys I know. There was a fight to see who's going to get what, and I ended up giving one of each for everybody that was there, and the guy said, you know what? I'm not going to even use this brush on my paintbrush. I'm going to just skip it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to skip because I never saw a paintbrush like this. I never saw a paint roller frame. I never see, and they don't have anything like that.
It's
By now they might have some, but it's still not there yet. It's the lack of.
it's not there, and yeah, so it's been explained to me that Brazil is very protective of its own industries, so they
Yes.
tax the living daylights out of stuff and have tariffs to the point where it's like you can get a Graco 390, but I mean, Mauro, for you and me, we go to our paint rep and we really lean on them. 700, 750 bucks. We can get gun, hose, 390,
They got
hand
the whole thing.
$3,500 US dollars in Brazil is what it takes to get a 390. I went to every paint store. We went to 4 paint stores a day, and they would have one on display, and it was like guarded because it's like a thing that nobody has and everybody aspires to. Legitimately, the dollar to dollar conversion is $3,500 for a basic sprayer, and so that at least you can get a Graco 390. I did not see Wooster, Purdy, or anything else. They didn't even have access. It's not like even if you have the money, it's just not available. So to me, it's again, huge things you take for granted. Like, Mauro, you would love this. Painters love to just, is it Wooster? Is it Purdy? Is it straight? Is it angled? We argue about these things when these people are just give me any of them. I would take the best.
I'll take the cheapest brush from the United States. And I'll consider that gold.
Give me your old brushes. I don't even care what they are. Just say, So I love that you also smuggled things in, because now I have taken check bags with as many painting tools as I can there, legitimately for that reason, and sanders and everything else. And it's amazing that. If I was a little smarter, I'd buy a bunch of iPhones and flip them down there and pay for my trip every time. But I don't want to get in any trouble, Mauro. That's not what I'm here to do. So,
no, I mean. It's that our normal day in which you can find anything you want. The most important, it's affordable for us.
Yeah. Yep.
And when you get down there, I get really. I say I talk with the guys on the phone. I say, guys, what kind of brush do you guys use? What's it? Well, most of the stuff there is like concrete and stucco.
Yeah.
Most of the construction down in Brazil that requires an even better product to work on it. It's not wood. It's like. It's all masonry, but the workmanship is like perfect. It's beautiful. The guys are a bunch of artists down there.
Yeah,
but they don't have access to any of those good stuff that will make their lives really easy, and they can do a lot of more productive work, and they can make a lot of money faster. But everything is like when they get access to something, it's something that they can afford.
Yeah. So, I mean, so there's always that. There's always the non-access or the high price of stuff. One thing we won't get into, but we should mention that there is basically, as far as I can tell, 100% employment tax down there too. So if you hire somebody for, $20,000 a year, you owe the government another $20,000 in these taxes. And you start getting into the reasons for that and how it's used and everything. And it's so different. Like people love to complain about the United States government. and fine, do that, but you have no idea what other people around the world are putting up.
No idea at all. I think this is I've been to some places in Europe where I used to have a cousin in Italy, and saw other part of the world. So people that works for me long time ago, he has his own business in New Zealand, Australia, and they kick that very strong. And we constantly talk in contact, and he said, dude, you have no idea how much we learn over there and we apply in here. The guys think we're a bunch of heroes, but the tools that we have in here is not even compared with anything to you can find the cheapest paintbrush in the United States. It's very hard. It's very hard, but that's what's going on there. If you can afford, you can afford. you know.
So the other thing that I feel really self-conscious about, and I don't have I feel like I need to have a little more evolved thought or a progressed thought than this, but it always feels to me like my natural reaction coming from where we are now is, listen, arguably, there's maybe 330,000 painters, 350,000 painters in the United States. Brazil, there's 1.1 million, as far as I can tell, as far as the data will tell you. And like you said, the biggest problem is opportunity. Most painters get paid the equivalent of somewhere between $4 and $8 an hour in Brazil. That's sort of like dancing around the Brazilian minimum wage.
Yep.
You could legitimately bring somebody here and 5x their pay, even as starting with no experience. But it's almost like this patriarchal thought I have, which is open up this pipeline of labor to bring people here to get that opportunity. But that's kind of like, I don't know if that's a gross thought. I don't know if saying we can help you, we can do this, will save you from this country, because I don't think the country's that bad. But also you're dealing with these economic realities of like, no, legitimately, if somebody came to Minnesota right now, I could pay them 4 or 5 times more. They would have to do nothing else. And arguably, what I've seen, you could make an argument that the Brazilian painter is a little bit more passionate than the United States painter about what they do. And that would be a great thing for them and their families, but also telling somebody that you want to take them from their homeland and their country here for a better opportunity is a weird thought. And I don't know how to think about it. So how do we reckon this?
Well, I see it this way. When you go to Brazil, let's say, you don't have much chance to go to a college. Very hard. Almost impossible to go to it. It's either like really rich, you can afford it, or you're very smart and you go for free, partial. And then what's left to do? Oh, I'm going to work in some industry. Or I'm going to work in the construction. I'm going to become like a masonry guy. This is what left for you to do. And then unless you want to be locked in one of those big factories there. But if you get some artistic inside of you, you're going to be like a painter. But this is what left for you to do. There's no much. If you don't have access to a good college education, most of the Brazilians, it's really hard for it. You don't find that chance there. And that's why you're going to be to the construction sites. You're going to be looking for jobs that doesn't require much education. But on the other hand, you're not going to be recognized as a professional unless you're really good and it's not your own business. And that's the difference. Over here in America, I believe every profession you can make a very decent money once you got into it deeply and started to learn the business. And you start to say, listen, I'm going to work 7 days a week, whatever it takes. Because this is how America works, in my opinion. You can't have time to be home sitting down and waiting for something to happen. You got to go after. You got to go after. You got to look for it. You got to afford it. You got to go for it. And even down, I'm just comparing the two countries. Down there, sometimes even if you got that eager to go for it, you don't have the chance.
That's a really, you know what? Maybe you may have summarized this feeling that I can't really articulate very well, which is, I think it's that when I go down there, I think there's this like inner tension in me. I think it comes down to, if I had to relocate my family to Sao Paulo and start a painting company, I feel like it would be way harder to make a living there, even as a professional, than in the United States. I just feel like everything is here for you in the United States. Can you wake up early enough and do enough grit? All the information is free. The government actually feels like they want to help you start a business in the United States. It just doesn't feel like that in Brazil. And maybe that's where that inner tension in me is coming from, because nothing, like we talked about, nothing eats at me more than a missed opportunity or somebody limiting you from the outside. And maybe that's it. Well,
it's funny. It's funny that you said that, because you went there. You were born here. You know all the system. You know where to get jobs. You have you educate yourself in what you like to do, which is paint business. You're a very successful businessman. It's easier here. But like I said, you just got to go for it. There's no time to waste. In Brazil, even if you have that bunch of time, it's harder, really hard for you to start a business because there's so many people doing the same thing.
Mm.
It's all becomes like a problem with education, or there's no money there. I mean, it's hard to get a job and it's hard to make money out of that.
Mm.
You
I
know.
feel like there's one the problem being naive and starting this process years ago, I was like, listen, me and every other paint business owner in the United States would charter a jet and fill it with the happiest Brazilian painters and bring them over here anytime we can. Why doesn't that happen? Because when the Brazilians describe what it takes to get outside of their country's border legally, it feels like a mountain that only a few people summit. I mean, we complain about the immigration system in the United States, and honestly, I feel that's the easiest hurdle to get over. As far as somebody from Brazil coming here, I feel like their country is way more protective or puts up more hurdles than we do. And I don't know, you've done it. Is that the truth?
I would say a big chunk is what happens down there.
Mm-hmm,
You know,
mm-hmm.
but the hardest part is like I see in it. It's like getting to the United States.
Mm-hmm,
Even
mm-hmm.
though if you're like full of good intentions, you want to come to work because everybody knows this is the land of opportunities.
Mm.
If you work hard, things will happen. And there's a lot of more chances here for some people, some immigrants that they would looking for a better life. They're looking for a work. They want to get their family growing up healthy in
Mm.
a good way that they can be something at the future. And but down in Brazil is really you don't see. I think people most of the time they lose the hope of a better because we down there they promise so much. Oh, we're gonna change. Oh, we're gonna change this. Oh, we're gonna change that. But if you go there now and then from years from now, it stays the same way. And then when they come to America, North America, United States, they find a job very easy.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy to find a job, but like every trade or everything, because in my opinion, the way I see it, um, things here never stops, never gets stagnated. In that point, the ball keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. It's going to be some tough years. Oh yeah, it's going to be some recession. Oh yeah, but it doesn't stop. It keeps going. And housing and construction, especially housing and construction, is like no stop. And right, and it's but when you go to for you to have an idea how things works down there, you have to go there by me
Mm.
saying and talking and have this conversation, or someone else come or watching TV news and stuff like that. You are not gonna have the whole feeling like you had when you're there because you were physically seeing it and you talk with the real people and you're seeing what's going on. You see how hard it is to get thing here that's very easy for us here. Like say you take for granted. And when you get down there, say, oh, things here it's even tougher.
It's absolutely true. And everything that I know to be true about the Brazil and what I've seen, the 100% employment tax, the crazy tariffs, every house has walls, the labor force, things like that. I was like, okay, you're saying that. I believe you, but we don't really believe it till we see it and feel it ourselves. And you go down there, you're like, oh my God, every house has walls here, huge cement walls, and some have razor wire in the top of them. You're like,
Yeah.
coming from here, Ronnie, my friend and interpreter, was here. The only thing he kept saying in Minnesota was, "Where's all the walls? Here's the wall." He's looking at my neighbor right across the field here. He's like, "Don't you have to protect against your neighbor?" I'm like, "No." Wow, did I take that for granted? Holy cow! Like that's amazing. So
Oh, you see there, when you go to Brazil, one thing I don't know if you notice that every window they have like this metal grid.
yep.
It's like an extra protection. Even though the windows are locked, tops and bottom are locked, complete lock inside, lock it outside, they still have those iron bars
Yeah.
in there. And actually, even for the doors, it's like, but it's just not like one place. It's like just about everywhere. And that shows, um, how the things really start to, how we're going to find out how things works down there. It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful people. People are so friendly, but that's been there forever. The way you're living down there, you know.
Well,
Um,
and especially like we mentioned before, like when you're in Sao Paulo, I mean, legitimately, that's depending on the numbers, number four, number five, number six largest city in the world. You can't have 20 million people in one area without a whole bunch of very interesting things like that happening. Like the biggest, it feels to me, and like, again, I will tell people in the United States, like, it feels to me like Brazil has levels of poverty that we don't even know exists in Minnesota or the United States. And people will hear that and believe it. But until you see it, you don't really understand it, you know? And that's not Brazil. I mean, that's every major metro. You go to San Francisco or New York City, you
yeah,
see poverty that don't exist in Minnesota, you
yeah.
know, or other places. So it's great. It's great to see it. It's a marvel that it works, honestly. Like,
But I mean,
hats off to whoever keeps that going, because 20 million people that close together, and that there's not a civil war or, you know, some mass. It's just it's amazing, and it really makes you appreciate
everything you got. Yeah.
everything you have and you don't have. It's legitimately recenters you.
I mean, if I go there now, if you will go there, you will see a couple things that when you look at it, say this doesn't sound right, this doesn't look right. In your mind, you're going to say, or you're going to think, this is so easy to fix. This
Mm,
is so easy to resolve. Why not? Right? It's something. It's like I said, something that makes no sense for you because you don't see that in Minnesota. I don't see that in Boston, and you don't see it on any other metropolis in the United States or towns, whatever. But in there, you will see a bunch of it, just about everywhere. And then like I say, you say, "Wow, why don't they do this? Why they can't fix that?"
mhm.
Is something that is inexplicable. You can explain that.
And I definitely don't want to focus. I mean, I feel foolish even telling you that it's a magical place, right? Because it's, you know, way more about it than I ever will. But
Yeah,
legitimately, like, in all the places I've seen, it is truly amazing. My trip culminated with, you know, Giuliano Alcantara, arguably one of the most popular painters, way more popular than if you combine you and me, Mauro.
is that right?
Guy that everybody looks to. And he personally went on all these trips with me, and he invited me to his new construction job site,
Yeah,
seaside, in the rainforest. And when we spent the day working together, and then
yeah.
they made the churrasco out back that day, that was just like, I felt like I was exactly at home in Minnesota, just like my dad raised me on construction sites. And it's
Yeah.
like, the food was way better because all we had was like bologna sandwiches when I was a kid. But like, honestly,
And cold, and cold.
cold, exactly. Unless they sat on the dashboard of your truck and heated up all morning in the sun.
Yeah.
But legitimately, so running a business here, I get a different feeling than when I'm in the tools and everything on the job site, or when I was learning the trade. That brought me back 20 years in this trade to those job sites. And I was learning new things, and I was having lunch with all the people on the site. And it's like, that is a feeling I haven't touched in 2 decades, and it's one I won't forget. And man, it was magical. It was
I know
awesome.
it's something when you get there, you're going back in time,
Yeah.
right? And for some reason, yeah, when I arrived there, I say this is, it's like you're going back in time. It looks like nothing changed since I left. But I mean,
Incredible.
but it's like it's just like that. And I mean, but you have to see it for you to understand. And every time you go there, it might be a slight different from the last time.
Yeah.
But when you come back here, you're gonna be so much appreciative for what you have and what access for things that we have here, which makes it's all in order to make life easier and move ahead.
Listen, I think and I've only touched it twice for very short periods, and I legitimately run my business and arguably run my family differently from what I've seen and done. And that's only the first other country that I've been to. It really makes you curious. Like, there's the rest of the world out there. And if every painter in the United States went and touched their industry outside of the United States, I think we would all come back refreshed, refocused,
Yeah,
and we would think about everything we do differently. And
absolutely.
I think you coming from Brazil and having that deeply ingrained inside you, what a competitive advantage. That's ingrained in you. There's a lot of people who come here who haven't been brought up for 30 years in the trades in Minnesota in the same area. And if we could broaden those horizons like that, it makes you think about everything different.
Everything there. If you get like if you next time you go, if you bring like a couple of your painters there, and show them how things get down there. It's kind of a tough, but I mean, it's getting done with the best quality that they can have done things down there with the accessibility of tools and the work manners. Is kind of when you come back here, you say, "Whoa, I think I can do a little better than that."
Yeah, you can certainly be a little more curious and happy about your trade,
Absolutely.
because we have the opportunity to practice it however, whenever we want. If you didn't have that, you would appreciate it a hell of a lot more.
Well, it's like, let's put it this way. Let's go back like a few years back when we start painting business. We could most of the work was done by painting brushes and rollers.
Yep.
We didn't use much sprayer back then. I mean, there was some there, but I mean, it's like when you go back there, it's still doing the same way like we did here 30 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
It's
I mean,
true.
it's like it's the harder way. It takes a little more time, but that's the way things work down south. And when you come back here, you're gonna say, "Whoa, I can do better than that." But I mean, you're doing as much as you can. But I say you still wants to get ahead. Say, "Oh, I can correct a few things."
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, Mauro is, I mean, God, I could talk to you all day, man. But we also have families. So
I
is there
know,
anything that we should have talked about that we did not talk about?
yeah. Um, I think we got a lot going. I think we talk about a lot of important things. I can't say anything that what things that we should talk and we didn't talk about. I mean, unless you have something, I think we got all the topics. I think that was a beautiful, healthy conversation, exchange information, and we'll talk about the two different countries, two different way to do work, two different work ethics. I think we did it. I think we get all the topics going nice. Bringing in the information for the people that people has no idea how what we get here, what we can have down south there. I think that was a great information. Make us more appreciate more what we have, because in my opinion, I think we have a great access to everything that the world best has to offer, and we get right here.
Yeah.
Not even in the quality of paint tools, but paint itself, paint materials, and you saw the numbers when you try to get a gallon of paint or a 5 gallon of paint down there is like it's like really really
Crippling.
high. It's up, but I think people have some information. What we talk here today is it's a learning lesson.
Well, Mauro, thank you for this time, and thank you for being flexible with the show time and date. And also, I speak for every painter in the United States. We're rooting for you, man. It's This Old House. You're the This Old House painter. Like, you are the flagship. When you are the trusted source of this, and we
Oh,
thank you
man.
for everything you do. We thank you for representing us well, because my God, Mauro, if there was somebody who did not do it your way as a pro, we would be so heartbroken that This Old House is not doing it that way. So thank you for doing what you do with them.
No, I appreciate Nick. Thank you very much. All the respect for all the painters out there, and for you that be showing us as we learn with you every day, every minute. It's a learning lesson for every single one of us. So me doing what I do, you doing what I do, all the Brazilian painters out there, all my heart for them. And there's a great thing that you're there, because as far as I know, I remember I never saw anybody from here to go there, and learn how things get done down there, and
Yeah.
and plus bringing some of your expertise, and then just giving people tips down there. I guess they are very appreciative that you are there. And
Yeah.
all I heard is like, when Nick's coming back, when is Nick coming back with the more information and see um, what we learned from him the last time he was here. So it was a great thing, dude. It was a great thing. It was
This
really
is this is only a start, and I feel like we have to incorporate Mauro and all my other Brazilians in the United States the next time. Because listen, I'm getting more and more uncomfortable as the spokesperson for this whole Brazilian United States match when there's people way more qualified who can also speak Portuguese that can do this. So I feel like this is only the start, and legitimately, I got 40 or 50 more years. I feel like this is
how many years?
I have 40 or 50 more years to build this stuff. And I feel like a lot can be done in this time to join up these two trades from two different countries.
Yeah.
And we can learn. We have so much to learn from the Brazilian painters and them from us. So I think we're only going to better. Yeah, we're only going to get better because of this. It's only the start. So
I think it's a beautiful I think that you're starting to initiate that because we're exchanging information, different cultures, and different knowledge, and that's going to be. I think that's only can grow a lot by doing what you do. I honestly, you're the first one that I see doing it, and I have all the respect. I think that's a beautiful thing that we can learn from both side of the world how things gets done in our world, which is painting. So.
well, listen, coming from you, man, it means a lot, and we are very proud of what you're doing. Thank you for this. Thank you for being on the show, and have some. We're thankful. We're thankful. It's a Thanksgiving weekend. We're thankful for a lot of stuff. So, Mauro, thank you for all this.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Anytime, and let me know.
Hey, remember, careful what you offer, Mauro, because I know how to get a hold of you. I got your cell phone number, and that is your problem sometimes. You will probably regret when you gave that to me.
No, that's something that now that you got vaccinated with the Brazilian way, I think you're not going to stay too long without getting near. So
I agree, man.
it's a beautiful thing. I really appreciate that, and the chance to be talking to you guys and all the painters out there is perfect. I think there's no more secrets out there for what we do. We learn from each other. I learn tips everywhere from a lot of people, a lot of painters, different painters that I said, whoa, that's a good way to do things. It's a good thing. It's a beautiful thing.
No, thank you for that, Mauro. And thank you, everybody, for watching the Ask a Painter live show. And please, I know that me and my family, a tradition is watching This Old House on the couch, especially when it gets cold and snowy. Watch Mauro on there. Mauro, we'll be fist pumping from the couch when the painting segments come on. So thank you, man, and have a good rest of the weekend.
That would be great, Nick. All right. Always a pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.